Hey there, and welcome back to another restoration blog. This is where I give you updates on my projects and also show you things that you might not see in another video. Let's start with the off-road wrecker. I do have the air locker hooked up to the air compressor, and it is hooked up to a switch, so the wrecker is completely ready to go if I need to use it. I am still soon planning on making a video updating the air system and finalizing the air locker system. All the new work that I had done over the last 2 years is finally starting to rust and blend in with the rest of the original wrecker systems. So that's pretty neat to see. I think I got just enough coating of salt on the trip to Sand Hollow and back this year that everything is getting a really nice patina. But of course, this is just surface rust and not harming anything. I have slowly been cleaning up the shop a little bit. I had a lot of pallets here. It was making it difficult to bring vehicles in and out. And I still just have so much stuff on all my shelves. I'm starting to think that nobody even wants some of these old car parts. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all this. I even have some hidden gems like this E-Type motor with overdrive hidden down under here, under a pile of tile. Right after the Austin Healey conclave, I felt ill, and I've had a cough for 3 or 4 weeks now. So I haven't been going to as many shows and events as I normally would have because I've been a little bit under the weather. So a lot of these cars have been sitting for the last month. I did finally get my new Land Rover Defender sent over to the dealer so that they can take a look at finding out why my rear inverter power bank doesn't work anymore. And they haven't found the problem yet. I'm still waiting to hear back from them, but I imagine they're going to have it for a while. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I have been driving my Lotus Elise a little bit more than I have the past few years. When I'm going to a car show, I just usually prefer to show up in a vintage car rather than something that's modern. I will be racing at the big vintage race, the WeatherTech International at Road America. I will be racing my Triumph TR4, so I have that pulled out. I got it started up. I'm going to start to go through this car and get it ready for the race. I was thinking of possibly doing a video showing what my race prep is like and what things need to be upgraded since the last time I've run this car. In particular, my belts unfortunately are going to be expiring this month, and that's about 1 month too early, so I will have to replace those. And also I am thinking about installing a rev limiter on the car, as well as one of these Flagtronic units. This unit shows you what flags are on the track, and it can even give you local flags directed specifically at you. And I'll need to wire this up to the car. This will be the first event that I will be going to that this will be in use. They are not requiring these this year, but they probably will next year. So it'll be good to get this installed. And I want to figure out how to make that easily swappable over between my other race cars. And speaking of other race cars, I have worked a little bit on the Elva, and I think this is ready to go on the dyno for some testing. So we'll get to a video doing that hopefully very soon. Adam Carolla is going to be racing in the vintage race at Road America, so I'm thinking about taking the Sharp Sight Datsun 280Z. That way maybe he can come over and check it out. But if I'm going to take this car, I really want to get this drivable because moving this around without having it powered is very difficult. So things would just be a whole lot easier if I could start this up and able to drive it in and out of the trailer. So that's my goal, and I only have a month to do that, so I need to get started. My Ariel Red Hunter is still sitting here from when I had problems with it on the gentleman's ride. The engine is not completely locked up, as you can see, but I think there's something possibly wrong with the valves. It doesn't seem like the compression release is working properly. And there's a bit of oil that's coming down on the fins here. So at some point I need to take the fuel tank off and take the head off so I can look at the valves. We'll figure out what went wrong with this. I have the Jaguar E-Type on the lift, and my parts just showed up today. So I'm going to start filming this video hopefully tomorrow, and you'll see the next video on the E-Type series shortly. The Corvair project is still sitting here, and I just worked out a few of the last details just yesterday, and look for a video coming soon on this car. I've been working a bit on the XK140. You've seen this car before. This car has always seemed to have some electrical gremlins popping up, especially where the generator is concerned. Seems like every year or so, either the regulator is going bad or the generator is needing to be rebuilt. So now the 140 has one of the alternators that looks like the original generator. This one is from Wasp, and this one is a positive ground. And having this extra power also gives us the power to have an electric fan on this car, which is going to keep this cooler much easier than it was before. For this particular version of the alternator generator, you don't have to change any of the wiring. You just plug in the wires exactly the way they were to the generator. You don't have to rewire anything at the regulator. It's a super simple install on this particular car. There's not a whole lot left of the C20 pickup now. And we can really see the rust in the body. We got some gigantic holes back here. These holes were just filled with tar. It's easy to just knock all that out. Here you get a good view. Luckily they make one-piece floor pans that will replace most of this. Now we just need a couple cab corners and this cab will be back in shape. And here's the Austin Healey 106. This is what we've been waiting for several months. The engine is now back inside the car, and you can see that it's painted the correct Austin Healey green. If you saw how much you have to tilt this engine with the transmission on it to get in here, you would realize why you do it this way without this front bodywork on. Because if you were trying to squeeze the engine in with the bodywork all the way to here, that's going to be a nightmare. And you're more likely to scratch the brand new paint. So put your engine in first and then finish the outer bodywork. Here's the transmission sticking back into the tunnel. You can see the Laycock overdrive on the end there. Here's what that front bodywork looks like. Since it's all one piece with this front section attached to what goes on the sides of the engine, that creates a big problem trying to get that engine in and out. And that's not the only vehicle with the engine in it now. The Bronco also has the engine in and the body is sitting on the chassis. One thing to note here, in 1976, the grills changed from white to argent silver. And in this case, the wheels are also argent silver. So unlike the earlier Broncos that have a white grill and white wheels, these are silver. So that's a neat look that distinguishes these from the earlier Broncos. And here's the brand new tailgate with Ford in white. If I stand over here, you can just barely see the old original body and the completely new body over there. The new body, of course, will be getting these stripes which go down the sides of the Bronco as well as on the hood. The tires are starting to arrive for the Bronco, although I don't have the full set yet. But these are Nokians in 311050 R15. I think these are going to look great on this truck. The topper is in the paint booth right now. It finally has its first coat of primer. And outside the booth, you see the hood for the Bronco. This is the chassis for the C20. It's been all blasted and painted. So now once body pieces are put together, they can be set directly on the frame. And of course, the Lotus Europa project. Hopefully, now that the 106 has the engine in it, we'll start getting back to the Lotus Europa and wrapping up the 106 pretty quickly. Well, that's going to be all that I have time for today. So if you want to see more videos like this, comment below and click subscribe.